Hey Keller Williams family, this is Stephanie Deaver, and I am coming at you with another DocuSign helpful tips video here for you today. In this video today, I'm going to teach you how to use custom fields in order to kind of quicken the process of adding in some of those phrases and things that you're commonly putting into documents or contracts, repeated things that you don't want to have to type every single time for new clients. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here today. If you're familiar with dot-loop, this is a similar feature to the clauses that you could set up within dot-loop. But again, here in DocuSign, it is custom fields. It's not exactly the same, but a pretty useful tip for you here today. So I'm going to show you how to use our custom fields. Please note, custom fields can only be utilized within an envelope. You won't be able to utilize these custom fields in the document section when you're filling out your TAR forms. So just know that you'll add these when you're specifically sending things in an envelope. So let me go ahead and get started to show you what this looks like. So here I've named my envelope. I have a purchase and sale agreement added in here. I have myself as the agent here, and I will be signing first, and then I have my client in here to be signing second. So now I'm going to go in and click next, and this is where I can add all those text boxes and signature lines and things like that. All right, so once this page loads here, you can see I have my name up in the corner here. I have my client's name as a drop-down option up here. We want to work first here as an agent to add all those special things that we need in here. Now, again, you should have already filled in your client-specific information in the document section before bringing this over here just to speed things up. Obviously, I'm just teaching you this as an example today, so I didn't worry about doing any of that, but you are pre-filled, name of your sellers or buyers would be in here, things like that. All right, so on this page right here, it'll always default to this first tab over on the very left-hand side that says standard fields. That's where you see things like signatures, date signed, initial, you have your text box, checkbox options, all that kind of stuff. So let me show you two ways that you can create a custom field. So let's just say for some reason the address didn't come in, or maybe I just want to save the KW address as a custom field right here. So I'm making a text box and I'm dragging and dropping to size to kind of resize that there. And with this text box right here, over on this right-hand side, I can start adding in my text. So our office address is 2031 North Mount Juliet Road, Suite 101. Okay, and then it is simple as this, everybody. So here I have my text box. It has our Mount Juliet address on here. Right here, there's this button on the right-hand toolbar panel that says Save as Custom Field. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save as Custom Field. And what it's going to do, it's giving me this mumbo-jumbo name for text, but I would want to rename this custom field as KW address. And I'm just going to say KW Mount Juliet address. All right, and it's asking, it already is selecting that it's a text type. This initial value, this is what's showing actually what that field is going to say. So it's showing that here's what we're having. This is all just standard font, things like that. So here it shows a little preview, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. All right, so now here's the great feature. And this works not only in this document, but this will be saved for you in the future as well for all of your other documents over here. This should work from different rooms to rooms as well. So now I save this KW Mount Juliet address, and now I can just drag and drop that into my document here. So again, now that it's saved as a custom field, it's as simple as dragging this in here. Okay. this might be helpful for some of those longer fields, things like that. You know, if you have your broker commission fee paid out by your clients that you add into your listing agreements or buyer rep agreements, you might want to create a custom field that has language around that. Second way, so that was where we came up here. I created this and then I decided to save it as a custom field. That was one way to create one of these. Another way is if you go right underneath this standard fields, this little box with the wrench is where this custom fields lies. Now notice there are a lot in here. You may notice some of these in here already that you haven't created. For instance, this KW address happens to be a California address, obviously not the one that we want. I will be working to see if we can change some of those settings. Unfortunately, it doesn't let me delete those at this time, but we will cross that bridge. But right now, let's make our own. And let's say that it is, we're gonna make a new one. And I wanna make one talking about, because we are in a purchase and sale agreement, if we had multiple offers. Sometimes you might have that phrasing where you maybe create an escalation clause. So I'm naming what it's going to be. That'll show me what it's going to look like over here on the left for me to reference back to it. It is a text box is what I want. And in that initial value, that's where I'm going to type out what I want. So I could say, in the event of multiple offers, the purchase price shall increase $1,000 over the next highest documented competing offer up to a maximum purchase of blank amount of dollars. Okay, this is something that I might utilize quite often. And so I am going to click that required box just so I know that it will be required when it's on that document there. You know, I can select font color, all that kind of stuff. I think it should default here. We'll test this out and see. But here it's showing me a preview of this. And I can hit save. So now let's scroll down in my document. This is something I would maybe put down in this special steps. So here I save this as multiple offers. And here I can resize what this looks like. And maybe I need to go back in and adjust what the sizing of my font looks like because that's a little bit big for that box. So I can actually go back in here, click on settings, and font size is 12. I want to change that. Let's change it down to 9. And we'll hit save. And now if I add in a new copy of that, I can go in here. So maybe as we're kind of learning here, you might want to adjust your text box to fit in the size. And I maybe recommend clicking the Save as Custom field from that right toolbar instead of creating one from scratch, just so that way you can kind of adjust what your text box size might be. So let's hit Save as Custom field. It's going to make a new copy there for me. So I'm going to say multiple offers 2. And I'm going to save. And then over on the left-hand side here, I'm in that custom fields. Here's where I can see that. And here it's dragging and dropping in that better format. And then I can still go over here in the individual part and then type in the price that I need it to be. So up to a maximum purchase price of, let's just say they will go up to 280,000. And then I can just go and delete these other ones out. Over here, since I created this one, this is one that I personally created, I can go ahead and delete this multiples offers because that wasn't the sized one that I wanted correctly. So this is where, like I said, a lot of those phrasing and things that you add into your documents that you're going to have in multiple different contracts with different clients on a repeated basis, this custom fields is where you're going to really be able to save some time. And then as you drag and drop those in, those are there permanently on the document. And then when you're ready to send out, you can just go ahead and hit send, and those will be there in your document. Another great thing maybe you want to add in as a custom field is possibly the office brokerage number or phone number or things, anything that you feel you're going to be using on a repeated basis. All right, I hope you find this custom fields to be very helpful for you and your contracts going forward. Thanks for watching today.